understand, before we understand what are the steps of translation, we need to understand what is RNA. And as I mentioned in the when I was discussing the structure of DNA, instead of thymine T, you have a uracil which is U. Instead of deoxyribose sugar, you have ribose sugar. Those are the two basic differences, right? So the backbone is made up of ribose sugar instead of deoxyribose sugar. There is a phosphate group still there, so it's phosphate group and a ribose sugar backbone. Instead, in RNA, instead of phosphate group and deoxyribose sugar backbone, which is in the DNA. And I said thymine is from DNA is replaced with uracil. All the three other bases remain the same. The pairings remain the same. A always goes with U, C always goes with G. Another unique information about RNA is that it is usually single stranded. So as I said, DNA is double stranded. RNA is single stranded. There is a reason for that which we will see in a bit. But it being single stranded is because of the way it is synthesized. So think about this. DNA is essentially your encyclopedia of all the information that a cell has. Now the cell has to produce certain information, or is to replicate or produce or replicate some part of the information to do a certain function. RNA becomes a very useful intermediate molecule to read that particular information. So by producing RNA, you can do several things which will not be possible to do when you are replicating the DNA. So when you replicate DNA, you produce 2 copies of DNA, which means the rate at which DNA can be replicated is slow, and it's only multiples of 2. 2 will make 4, 4 will make 8, like that, right? But if the information has to be rapidly copied, a cell needs to produce a particular protein very quickly. Replication will not be a method to go, because a cell always has only 2 copies of DNA. It doesn't have more than 2 copies. And therefore, transcription becomes the way to go, because RNA can be produced in multiple copies from the same strand. So if this is the strand that DNA strand that I need to copy, I can keep on copying this portion of the DNA multiple times to make multiple copies. Essentially, it's like taking an encyclopedia, rather than copying the whole encyclopedia and distributing it into the whole class, or a textbook, a thick textbook, distributing it across the whole class. One can say, okay, only this portion of that of the book is coming in an examination, and you just copy that portion, and that is what transcription is. So essentially, transcription or production of RNA provides 2 things. First, it makes sure that we do not have to copy the whole DNA. And if a functional unit is a particular gene, we can make a copy of that particular gene. So this is RNA of gene A, this is RNA of gene B. Okay, so we can actually produce specific molecules of RNA. Another thing that RNA allows us to do is to increase the number of copies. So here the number of copies is large, here the number of copies is small, which means that a cell can now regulate how much protein or the functional unit needs to be produced. If it needs to be produced in large quantities, you make large number of RNA molecules of the same gene. If the number of proteins that are to be produced is in small quantities, you won't produce small quantities of RNA. So this allows differential regulation of a gene. So this is called differential regulation of gene expression. Gene expression is the production of RNA from a gene on the DNA. And this is a very important concept because this is one of the fundamental experimental techniques. Differential gene expression is one of the fundamental expression techniques to understand what is happening within a cell, let's say between a normal cell and a disease cell. And we'll cover these topics slightly more detail later. So by producing RNA, having this intermediate RNA molecule, you introduce differential expression.